Imagine a world powered by something as primal and powerful as a volcano. Sounds like science fiction, right? But what if I told you that we already tapping into Earth's fiery heart to generate clean, sustainable energy? Get ready to discover how geothermal power is not just a dream, but a groundbreaking reality that could light up our future. Picture this: deep beneath your feet, there's a powerhouse that's been running for billions of years. It's not a sci-fi reactor or a secret government project, it's the Earth itself. The planet's core is a molten cauldron, radiating heat from the decay of radioactive elements and the leftover energy from Earth's formation. This heat is so immense that it could power humanity's needs for millennia if we could harness it effectively. We're talking about geothermal energy, the process of capturing this natural heat to generate electricity, warm homes, and even drive industrial processes. If you've ever seen steam rising from a hot spring or felt the ground tremble near a volcano, you've witnessed a glimpse of this hidden power. In places like Iceland, New Zealand, or Yellowstone National Park, the Earth practically shouts, "Hey, I've got energy to spare." Those plumes of steam, bubbling mud pots, and geysers are nature's way of showing off its geothermal potential. But this isn't just a spectacle, it's a resource that could redefine how we power our world. The scale of Earth's internal heat is mind-boggling. So how do we turn the planet's inner fire into something as practical as electricity? It starts with understanding where this heat is most accessible. Geothermal energy is most viable in areas with high tectonic activity. Think volcanic regions, fault lines, or places where the Earth's crust is thin. These are the spots where heat is closer to the surface, making it easier to access. Geothermal power plants come in a few flavors, but the basic idea is simple: drill into the earth, find hot water or steam, and use it to spin turbines that generate electricity. The three main types of geothermal plants are: these are the U's of geothermal energy. They tap directly into underground steam reservoirs, piping the steam to turbines. Places like the geysers in California have been doing this since the 1960s. These are the most common today. They pull up super hot water, think 180 degrees Celsius or higher, that flashes into steam when it hits lower pressure at the surface. The steam then drives turbines. These are the clever ones. They use hot water to heat a secondary fluid with a lower boiling point, which then turns to vapor and spins turbines. These plants can work with lower temperature resources, making them versatile. But it's not just about electricity. Geothermal heat can be used directly for things like heating buildings, greenhouses, or even fish farms. In Reykjavik, Iceland, nearly 90% of homes are heated with geothermal energy, piped straight from the ground. Imagine slashing your heating bill while knowing your warmth comes from the Earth itself. The beauty of geothermal is its reliability. Unlike solar panels that need sunlight or wind turbines that need a breeze, the Earth's heat is always on. It's a 24/7 energy source, making it a perfect baseload power, something that can keep the lights on when other renewables take a break. Now, let's talk about the real stars of the geothermal show: volcanoes. These fiery giants are like neon signs pointing to where the Earth's heat is most accessible. Volcanic regions, like those along the Pacific Ring of Fire, are geothermal goldmines. Countries like Iceland, Indonesia, and the Philippines are already cashing in, with geothermal providing significant chunks of their electricity. Why volcanoes? They sit atop magma chambers, pockets of molten rock that keep the surrounding crust scorching hot. This heat creates underground reservoirs of hot water and steam, perfect for geothermal plants. In Iceland, for example, the island's volcanic landscape means geothermal provides about 25% of the country's electricity and nearly all its heating. Drive through Reykjavik and you'll see power plants nestled among lava fields, humming away as they convert volcanic heat into power. But it's not just active volcanoes. Even dormant or extinct ones can leave behind geothermal reservoirs that stay hot for thousands of years. Think of Yellowstone's geysers or the hot springs in Japan's Hakone region. These areas are proof that the Earth's heat doesn't quit. Even when the eruptions do, the potential is huge. The U.S. Geological Survey estimates that geothermal resources in the United States alone could theoretically produce 10 times the country as current electricity needs. Globally, the International Renewable Energy Agency (IRENA) suggests that geothermal could meet 10% of the world's electricity demand by 2050 if we invest in it. That's not pocket change, it's a game changer. If geothermal is so great, why isn't it everywhere? Well, it's not all smooth sailing. For one, geothermal is location-specific. You can't just plop a power plant in the middle of Kansas and expect to strike geothermal gold. The best resources are in specific geological hotspots, which limits where we can build. Then there's the cost. Drilling deep into the earth is expensive, like buy a private jet expensive. A single geothermal well can cost $5 to $10 million, and you might need several to make a plant viable. Upfront costs for a geothermal power plant can easily hit hundreds of millions. Compare that to a solar farm, which is cheaper and quicker to build, and you see why geothermal isn't always the first choice. There's also the exploration risk. You can spend millions drilling only to find the heat isn't as accessible as you thought. It's like hunting for buried treasure with a really expensive shovel. And in some cases, geothermal plants can trigger small earthquakes, not catastrophic, but enough to make locals nervous. This happened in Basel, Switzerland, where a geothermal project was scrapped after it caused tremors, but don't count geothermal out. Technology is making it easier to tap into lower temperature resources, expanding where we can build plants. Enhanced Geothermal Systems (EGS) are a big deal here. They involve injecting water into hot, dry rock to create artificial reservoirs. It's like giving the earth a nudge to share its heat. Projects like the one at Sault-Sous-Ferrat in France show EGS can unlock geothermal potential in places far from volcanoes. So where's geothermal headed? The potential to power future societies, especially in volcanic regions, is massive. Countries like Kenya are already leaning in, with geothermal making up over 40% of their electricity. Indonesia, with over 100 active volcanoes, could become a geothermal superpower if it ramps up investment. Even places without volcanoes, like Germany or Australia, are experimenting with EGS to tap into deeper heat sources. The environmental case is compelling. Geothermal has a tiny carbon footprint compared to fossil fuels, about 50 grams of CO2 per kilowatt-hour, versus 800 for coal. It uses less land than solar or wind farms, and it doesn't rely on rare minerals like some battery technologies. In a world racing to hit net zero emissions, geothermal could be a quiet hero, but it needs a push. Governments and investors have to see past the high upfront costs and recognize the long-term payoff. A geothermal plant can run for decades with minimal maintenance, delivering steady power that complements wind and solar. Pair that with advances in drilling tech like using lasers or plasma to cut through rock faster and better heat extraction methods, and geothermal could become a cornerstone of clean energy. Imagine a future where cities near volcanoes like Reykjavik, Nairobi, or Manila are powered almost entirely by the Earth's heat. Rural communities could use small-scale geothermal for heating or agriculture, boosting local economies. Even non-volcanic regions could tap into deep heat with EGS, making geothermal a global player. There's something almost poetic about geothermal energy. It is not just about flipping a switch or charging a Tesla, it is about connecting to the raw, ancient power of the planet we call home. When you stand over a steaming vent in Iceland or watch a geyser erupt in Yellowstone, you're not just seeing a natural wonder. You're seeing energy. It is humbling to think that the same forces that shaped mountains and oceans could light up our homes. Geothermal also carries a sense of permanence. Solar panels degrade, wind turbines wear out, but the Earth's heat. It's been here since the planet formed, and it'll be here long after we're gone. Tapping into it feels like a pact with the planet, a way to live in harmony with its rhythms rather than fighting against them. For communities in volcanic regions, geothermal isn't just power, it's pride. In places like Rotorua, New Zealand, or El Salvador's Ahuachapan, geothermal plants are part of the local identity. They create jobs, stabilize energy costs, and show the world that even the wildest forces of nature can be partners, not adversaries. Geothermal energy isn't a silver bullet, but it's a heck of a spark. It's clean, reliable, and sitting right beneath our feet, especially in volcanic regions. The challenges: cost, location, and technology are real, but so is the potential. With the right investment and innovation, geothermal could power entire nations, reduce our carbon footprint, and remind us that the Earth is more than just a place to live, it as a partner in our future. So next time you hear about a volcano erupting or see steam rising from a hot spring, don't just think of it as nature showing off. Think of it as a glimpse of the energy that could light up our world. Geothermal isn't just a dream, it's a reality waiting to erupt.